Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season opener of Season 6. Welcome to the first race of 7 in a very short and a very important season for these drivers to make them a name for themselves. This is No Stabilizers Allowed, coming to you from Mexico City, the first Grand Prix of a very short season and a very thrilling one because every race counts more, as you can imagine. Less mistakes you can do, less races where you can recover shit results. And speaking of drivers, this is our current lineup for the upcoming season. Some drivers are taking a break, including our reigning world champion in critical damage. Ferrari have signed Bosnian Helmet and Pleasant Snake, one from Alpine, one from a V-Carb to the Maranello outfit, who just witnessed another victory back-to-back after Leclerc taking Ferrari to 1-2, who signed second in Cota. The Spanish driver won at Mexico for the first time, and Leclerc finished with fastest lap in third. We have Control, who has been promoted from V-Carb to Red Bull, and a switch from the Australian driver GR1 from McLaren to Red Bull. They eventually swapped drivers because Fallison, who was at the Red Bull seat last season, is now back at the McLaren and paired again with Kowalska. They've been a strong showing and strong pairing in a couple of seasons past. Andy Andre once again in Mercedes, and he is partnered by John Meister, who made the switch from Red Bull. Supermax from Haas to Aston Martin Maverick, new driver. Alpine currently without drivers at all. Slayer from Kick to V-Carb. Crank York from Kick to Williams. Moksha staying at Williams. Deri, a new driver in the Kick Sauber with Bastian 99 at the wheel for the second seat, and he's also a new driver. Frankie State at Haas, joining late in the penultimate season, and he signed a deal with them for this season. And Katja is back in a full-time seat, this time at Haas as well. Reserves look like this. It's Broly, it's Sinful, it's T-Brand, Sacco, Chaza, who was racing for Aston Martin last season, Rijaj Amankovic, Quincy Vincenzo, and Bono Matthias Agon, also a new driver. Track map for today, 3 DS zones. Well, actually, the second one isn't even here. Maybe I loaded the wrong version. Okay. 2 DS zones on the main straights, basically. So that's turns into turn 1 and into turn 4. A lot of slow speed corners after that. Very hard to fight. And as we saw yesterday, sometimes impossible to race against other drivers. Very twisty and tidy S section. That is unfortunately not the real copy of the real thing. Turn 10 being way too fast compared to real life. And then there's a straight between turn 11 and 12. And there's usually a DS zone. And then the detection point after that enables you for DS on the main straight. It has been shortened this year, which is not in the game yet. So we'll have to wait and see. The only thing we can talk about other is the race result from the preseason race, where Fallison and Pleasant Snake battled it out for the whole race, with Andy being a good third there, Slayer with a good showing, as well as Andrew for V-Cup. Moksha in 5th. Wasn't really in the race the whole time, but that safety car definitely helped. T-Brand, Vincenzo, Broly, all reserves. Nothing to gain from that, basically. Kowalska Maverick. Crank York Deri in his first outing unfortunately did not finish. Supermax and Catcher also did not finish. And we have to head into the game now to see what the drivers can do on this in this qualifying session. And currently we are stacked with 17 drivers. I don't expect anyone to put other tires on, but just keep it in. And I need to unplug the wheel once again. Sorry. Let's look at our drivers list for today. And one of the first guys out there, together with his teammate, Deri, who just pulls over to let Robastian by. I think I'm just gonna turn up the game a bit. Why is Discord on this layer? What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, so that's the two Sauber drivers for this season. And we have Control, who wasn't there at the preseason race, but is now with us for today. In the Red Bull, as I mentioned. And his partner is not here. Guy Repke missing out today. We have T-Brand as a reserve, currently in the pits, who is partnered by Gian Pai, who is also reserve. Was in the Aston Martin last time out in the first season. And with Krankjok at Williams, together with Moksha, who is in 7th and also on the track. So Williams is complete for today. Sinful is taking the wheel for Supermax, who is out for tonight. And Katja is one of the first to go out on track and have a go at a hot lap. And he is just coming into sector 2, 28.2 after the first 3 corners that make up the first sector. We have Vincenzo as reserve for Ferrari. He is cutting the grass here on the inside right now, getting out of people's ways. Spider Snakes in the pits. And our full-time driver, Andy Andre, is also on a flying lap, heading into what is turn 6 now, as Robastian puts in the first counted and valid lap. And next we have Aston Martin pairing. I was thought Quincy's here, but that's not the case. So it's only Maverick so far. But he is a full-timer. Catcher is actually slower as is Fellison. I just realized the 13.8 is fucking fast. Holy shit. Beats his teammate by how much? 1.6 seconds. That's crazy. I'm not gonna do this time, probably tomorrow in SSIA. Control into third, 14.4, as Kranker puts in a bank of 16.5. That is quite slow at the moment. And Slayer next to Coastline, and he goes beyond that 9/10 faster, as we see the start of Vincenzo's lap. Just to quickly run this down, Fellas and Kovacs in the McLaren, as more people put in their times. Moksha is included in this. Andrew, I'm still told he is a reserve, because he wasn't on the list, but I don't think that's the case. And I'm missing 3, so that's a Red Bull missing, a Mercedes missing, and an Aston. So no Quincy for today. As 11 drivers have now put in a fast lap on the first attempt, as there's an invalidation for Vincenzo. Is anyone doing a second run? Control is charging. Moksha. There's no fuel for Andy. There's no fuel for Andrew. And there's no fuel for Jianbai. So for most of them, I expect them to come in soon. And yeah, Trunk York is going again, so let's watch on board with the Williams, who ran a special livery on this weekend with a lot of yellow on the engine cover, as McLaren just disappeared into thin air in front of us, as he's struggling to get the rotation right. Car may be a bit over rotating here, but it's a 29.0, currently 2/10 slower, so that exit out of 2 hurt him really. And then that running wide at the entry into turn and number 4 was also not helping. So maybe he thinks there was more time in it, and its time has come. The time has come. And his time will come to an end. As all good things come to an end, as a famous song says. 28.3. That is currently on level with Katja, who's still 6 cents down on the fastest. I wasn't expecting a kick Sauber on the front row here today, to be honest. Fellison is far off. I'm surprised by that. Not even a 14 so far, but who knows, maybe there was a mistake. And Ferrari's hopes and dreams in the name of Pleasant Snake are currently on our screen. And if you watch qualifying on Saturday, you will notice that the track is totally different, and we have to wait probably more than 5 years for Cody's to implement the track in its real layout. But yeah, we have to work with what we get, and Pleasant Snake gets a 14.665 on the board, is currently into the top 5. Obviously, it's gonna be a lot harder to get a win or podium, because most of the fast guys, including Control, Robastian, they were not missing. They were missing last time out, so that is gonna certainly mix up the order. 28.8. That's quite slow, so I expect that to be around a 16.1 if that continues. Uses a bit of ERS for heading into turn 7. And there's a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with the Aston Martin of Maverick, who seem to be going too slow for Control's liking. And Control has been handed a 5-place grid drop. What a disaster for the Red Bull driver. Yes. Kovatska is heading for that 16.4 and is only just about in front of Krangorg. And that makes me think he is way, okay, sinful on a 17.7. That is dreadful. But still some time to improve. I hope that is not his final time. Let's see what our current pole position holder can do. Split of Sector 2. He's even faster. Almost 2.5 tenths faster. This guy is cooking. Who's letting the kick Sauber cook in 2024? My league does. But I'm not gonna plug it. But we have kick Sauber at the top. 30.661. Mad time from Robastian. Holy shit. Also, he's born in my year, so that's evidence of our speed. Me going 2 for 2 in SSIL. Cheers. Merrick is doing a second outlap because his ARS is not turned up. Let's see, Andrew is on an attempt and he isn't. That doesn't look like an attempt from Deary. Fellison is next. No, it's not. Probably into the pits. I don't know what that is. 20% ERS at the start of a lap? Don't think so. Okay, Katja. Let's look at Katja. Last turn, and he spins it! And he spins it once again! The weakest point for him in his driving, the consistency. And he might be fast, but he's certainly struggling with consistency. Janpai in 4th. Didn't see that before. Let's see, Slayer, that is no improvement for certain. Let's see. Oh, actually, 2 tenths. Never mind then. Jesus, he used so much of his ERS early on. But let's see. 6.5 minutes to go. Currently P12. Half a second is needed for quite an improvement. And he does so actually. Goes into P11 with Vincenzo now being demoted as Sinful puts in a 17.2, which is, I think, barely any improvement. And Maverick is still on no ERS, which is just a bit of overtaking. What is this man doing? 24.0. Is there any fast lap coming up? He's faster, but he's not using his battery. 1.6 seconds faster? Yeah, okay. And maybe he put too much fuel in and needs to do some laps. Still no overtake. Still no hot lap enabled, let's say like this. 21.7. Still out of reach. Currently top 4 in the pits. Only Andrew coming out soon. Onto a flyer. Also Snake. Currently up by a 10th. That would mean something. If you look at the gaps right now, how many people have a 14.4 to a 14.6? It's second to 8th currently. Moksha also very close. Fellison has the next biggest gap. Snake now into sector 3. 0.3 of an improvement. That is certainly at the moment, if you can stick it, P2 and a very important place on the grid. Because you can surely challenge pole position sitter currently, Robastian, for fight into turn 1. And that is half a second worth of lap time found by the Norwegian driver who just puts his Ferrari to a 1-2-3 Ferrari engine lineup on the front row of this Mexican Grand Prix. As Kovacs, a teammate of Fellison, is running for another attempt, and that is no good from Fellison himself. And that was very wide on the exit again. I think Kovacs is maybe running too little wing. Does not seem like the car is planted for him. Has found some time. Let's see what's with the others. Moksha over the line. Finishes off his probably last run. Let's see. 4th position for the Williams. Another guy on a 14.4. Wow. Let's see Andrew. Into the pits. No improvement. There's Kovacs, because we know that Fellison, the McLaren orange dot on the minimap, will just start another lap with 3 minutes 20 to go. Still plenty of time, so I think Andrew's coming out 100%, but I don't know about Moksha. Half a second found, still P13. That is no good, unfortunately. 7/10 down. Maverick. I'm still baffled by what his strategy is currently in qualifying, but we'll probably find out soon. As Fellison is currently up by 1.5 tenths, a bit more than that. Let's see if Control is closer to the finish line. No, none of them are. And Fellison, after victory in the opening race, which was a non-championship preseason race, currently down in P10. Half a second found though. And that would mean a 14 point, and you guessed it, 4. And we would have 4 drivers on this. Moksha retires. No more improvement. He will not start further ahead than 4. Fellison over the line now. What can he find? He finds a 14.2. That's 3rd on the grid. Right behind his biggest rival from last week. Pleasant Snake. What's about his teammate? Into the pits with 2 minutes to go. Goes the second McLaren of Kovacs. Control. That is an outlap. A second one, to be fair. What color is that on the track? That's Gianpai on an outlap then. That's Haas. Okay, then that's Katja Outlap. And there's an Aston Martin again. That's Maverick. And Vincenzo. Vincenzo's gonna get a tow. You know, he's finishing his lap off 15.0 for the Ferrari reserve driver here. And we have next to cross the line Andy, but he's still on a second outlap. So no worries so far. What about Sinful? Currently on a 17.2 as Maverick has at the moment improved to a 19.9. And 16.8. That's Sinful's best time he could accomplish, but unfortunately that won't be any good. And Katja once again has spun it. And you see this from time to time as he needs to learn how to control his car. Next to cross the line, Pleasant Snake and Robastian are starting their final laps. What about Gianpai finishing off his one? Goes to an improvement of 1.5 tenths roughly, and is 5 thousandths now ahead of Moksha, pipping him to 5th. So that's an improvement. And at the right time. 4 people still on a 14.4. Crazy to think. Maverick is in, and that is no good. Katja goes over the line. Sinful, no fuel. Next to cross the line is Andy, I think. What can the Mercedes driver do? Second on the road! Second on the road! Andy is on the front row of the grid. What a lap! In the nick of time. Second place Andy from last season had struggles at Kota and is now improved. Beating both of the podium runners in front of him from last time here in qualifying. 30 thousandths of a second ahead, but half a second for the pole position. As of right now, can Bastian improve on his final time? He can! He goes to a 13.3! That's crazy good! That's 8 tenths. I thought we lost critical damage, but he is back. He didn't took a break, he just bought a new account. Oh my word. Can they please race against each other next season? For the love of God. I really hope we're done with this, but honestly, wow. Lobby restart after quali because of penalty on the field. Sounds like a fucking football referee. Okay, so the 5 places for control is not gonna stand. Wow, 8 tenths of a second. Yeah. When we thought it stopped with the Romanian dominance of critical damage, Robastian turned up and said, take 8 tenths of a second, and took pole position in Mexico. Andy second, Snake in front of Fallis and Katja, then Gian by Moksha. Control Andrew, Diri, Vincenzo, Slayer, Kovitska, Crankyok 14th, Sinful, Maverick and T-Brand with internet issues. No chance of setting a lap time. Quick break. Right back.
Suspect looks like Trinity from the Matrix. Suspect wears slippers on a run. Suspect hasn't shaved her legs in 3 weeks. It's cold. Suspect runs like a gazelle. Where did that come from? Suspect snores every night. I don't. Suspect needs glasses but doesn't wear them. Suspect is literally 5'1". I'm 5'3". Suspect never stops yapping. Suspect is extremely petty. Suspect down, Murphy! Suspect down! Suspect says she'll be ready.
I love you all, you're beautiful, and never forget that everyone is a princess. I love you all, you're beautiful, and never forget that everyone...
Hier sind 3 spannende Fragen.
How many stormtroopers does it take to change a light bulb? Well, none. They're all on the dark side. How many stormtroopers does it take to change a light bulb? Well,
Wo habe ich jetzt mal Handschläge gebaut? So, das bitte nicht an. Ich habe hier gerade leicht technische Schwierigkeiten. Der Fleisch. Genau, super.
Good morning. Hi. We are going to do the stool because y'all didn't get it. So, this is not for the bed. This is for effing the face. Now, he doesn't get on this. You get on this. Ready? I'm putting this. And we're just getting on it because it changes. I'm short. You're coming down, and then we're coming down at an angle that drastically changes things if there's a height difference. I'm 5'3"-ish, and my husband is almost 6 feet tall. So this changes my angle. So when we are doing it, we're coming down at an angle, and I found it helps things. Does it help it a lot? Not that much. We're still gonna have to practice. This is for the people who like the physical act of getting down on the knees, the power dynamic. This helps with that. I am one of those people. I physically enjoy the power of play. I'm a loud, annoying woman. My husband is a silent man. I need to be degraded. That's it, kids.
Was ist das für eine Disneyland. Decades? How can we get this back to you? And you guys can just ship it back to us. Hey, excuse me? Yeah, are you guys headed on a trip right here? Okay. Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
Okay, go on. Okay. Oh. Ist das die ganze Zeit gehört? Jetzt? Oh ja. Hey? RIP. Okay. We are back for the race, and there will be no formation lap because of bugs with our tool. And I am not sure if I saw this right. Yeah, Guy Repke is in, but someone is out. Who's out? Good question. Next question. I don't see Gian by. So Guy Repke is in, but Gian by is out. Why is that? And Tibran is out. Oh, Gianpa is in, so Tibran is out. Okay, he fears that the internet issues might cause further problems. 5 minutes to an ad break. Oh, okay. Snooze. I should have done it earlier. Anyway. Okay, let's see. What is the time? Oh, we are going now. Okay, so any minute now. Who the fuck is Diego? We're going to 5 red lights for the season opener of season 6 for no stabilizers allowed. And we are on the way. At the front, it's Andy Andre. Oh, there's a collision immediately. Catches out and huge crash with Gian Pai on the straight. And it is only a virtual safety car. Katja, Moksha, Fellis and all have been collected by this huge mess. Holy shit. Katja, no wing. Moksha, no wing. Fellis, no wing. They should all sign to Red Bull because Red Bull gives you wings. What a collision. Oh, it's a full safety car. It's on the map. Thank you for not fixing the HUD elements, Codys. Appreciate this. You're making this job a lot harder than it needs to be. Oh my word, what a crash. What a crash. See if I can clip that. Maybe show it to you. There's only 30 seconds. It's a bit too little, a bit too short. Okay. Okay, no clip of that. Wow! What a collision. And we're gonna see pit stops. Genpai was on the hards, rest on the mediums. Dude, who are you? I don't even know you. Okay, Fedderson to the hards. Hards for Moksha, hards for Katja. They can technically last the whole race. Vincenzo started on them. Kai Repke started on them. As did Control. So both Red Bulls taking a risk here. Top 3 stayed the same. The rest just immediately gained huge amount of positions. Fedderson down 10. Moksha down 8. 11 down Jianpai. 11 down Katja. And I have no idea whose fault that was, because that was just behind the leading pack. We could not see. But it looked like that Jianpai was tagged by someone and then was spun around to the right hand side into the pathway of more people. And I expect this to be a full safety car in terms of length. So 3 laps at least. Let's see if... What kind of safety car settings do we have? Reduce, so maximum of 3 it is then. Yeah, big downer for Fedderson, who was looking at a very promising start to the season with that preseason race. Obviously it's not the same track here today, but looks like he's currently more comfortable in the car and in the game overall, so yeah. I'm just gonna hit you to a quick break and then see you just a moment's time. As we are back for the moment where the safety car crossed the line in the pathway of the pit lane entry, and now Robastian has pulled the trigger to restart the race on lap 4 with Andy second. There's Pleasant and Firth, and watch out behind that, it's Andrew against Derry and Control, who's losing out on the restart here with the hard tires. As they go side by side into turn number 2, as Andrew is also trying to sneakily pass Pleasant Snake there, and then on side by side into turn number 4. Don't get distracted by the notification. There's no longer a safety car on the track, as Derry takes a different line through turn 5. Is now the inside of 6 of the V Cup, but has no opportunity to get by on this lap. and has to slot behind the V Cup for fourth right now, as the top two already starting to pull away, and the Robastian almost at that second window mark in terms of DRS window, as Maverick spins in to turn 12 and everyone just gets ahead of him. Overcooked it there slightly, as there was a side-by-side moment just ahead of us. Let's see if there's a chance. No DRS on these two straights as of right now. Let's see if Control maybe who's pulling out there. It's not Andrew. None of these guys are. But Sinful is trying to make a move on Krankjorg. And the Haas is ahead. Fellison is battling Moksha for 13th, as they try to get on the back of Krankjorg. Very late from Fellison, goes deep, hits Moksha, gives him a slight loft tap, and there's damage to the front left end plate of the Williams. As Andy gets DRS for the first time on this lap, because the first DRS detection zone that is on lap 2 is this one in the second sector, as we ride on board with the front wing angle view from the Kick Sauber that is currently 5th, and I cannot believe to say that, but it's currently very good looking in terms of points for Kick Sauber in 1st and 5th respectively. As yeah, well, I should stay with this group because I'm certain Andrew is gonna try and get 3rd place over Pleasant Snake. Another Romanian who's trying to get into the spaces in between drivers of well-established drivers, as Fellison fights Krankjorg for 12 and gets by on the Williams. And next up ahead is Sinful. And Moksha now under pressure from Kacha, but he gets that done around the outside as Control takes Diri into turn 6 and stays ahead as we start another fast section of this racetrack on lap 6, and there's already a 3-second time penalty for Krankjorg. One of his strongest weaknesses is check limits very early on. He cannot keep the car on the black stuff. As we can see that the biggest gaps currently Andrew in 3rd, then Sinful in 11th, and the biggest to P6. And he takes the fastest lap of the race. You cannot really get away from the car behind if you don't fully push it, and Merrick with 3-second time penalty to his name. But there's no chance for Andy on this one. Pleasant Snake is not going forward. What about Fellison? Already by on Sinful and is now charging that a gap down. Is hunting that gap down to Guy Repke, who is currently outside the DRS window. As he is on the hard tires trying to keep up to the guys in front. But then currently has lost connection to Kovalska. And just as I said, he's back in. Kacha getting by on Krankjorg, and now both Williams. Oh, and there's a lunge to the inside from Krankjorg. Very open in his defense. Goes wide. Opens up an angle for him in these corners. Let's see if Kacha can capitalize off of that mistake, because his flow was slightly killed there. Moksha is still holding on here, despite this being a clockwise track. So yeah, damage on the left hand side is always more critical on a track like this. And there's a spin! There's a spin from Krankjorg ahead. And he's now further behind than he was before. Andrew is in no position to get a lunge down the inside done. As yeah, Guy Repke has lost more momentum. Maybe he's struggling in the corners. no! Snake, what have you done? He taps the rear of the V-Cup and loses some of his front wing, maybe, because there was certainly some debris. Nothing visual on the screen right now, so maybe just a slight tap, but Control could get by on the Ferrari. As we see the visual gap of the top two. Control has the front wing damage. Control has the front wing damage. And Snake is losing another position. Two positions now. He's down to 7th. What is going on? There's a collision with the wall from Crankyork and he's out and there's another safety car. Who is the first one to come into the pits? Is anyone? Snake is. Snake is the first one into the pit lane. He capitalizes off that mistake by Crankyork, who just finishes inside that wall. Is that front wing change? No, there's not. He just goes to the hard tire. Huge moment. Just dropping back, but maybe this might be some sort of undercut. Because they are certainly losing a bit of time. Not much, because everyone still has Delta. What did happen to Snake there? Yeah, they're gonna come out ahead of him. Control stays out. Vincenzo not, surprisingly. Kacha and Moksha, that makes sense. They just pitted to us. Yeah, Pleasant Snake is actually, in terms of raw positions, losing more. Can he get by on any of these drivers ahead? Slayer certainly. But he's still behind where he just finished off, basically, before heading into the pit lane. P9 after that, and that is certainly not what he wanted. He has 3 drivers who are yet to pit. And one that cannot complete this lap at this race on medium tires. That would go to 26 laps, and I can tell you they won't do that. So Control is the car that will dictate the pace. When the safety car. Safety car gets in at the end of this lap. No, next lap, sorry. Next lap. Okay, this I don't get. Why did Fallerson pit for mediums? Why did Guy Rapke go for mediums? These tires won't last. They are currently committing to an actual 2-stop. Despite them already being on a 2-stop, because that was their second stop. And Control stairs are from getting damage. Kacha is in a prime position to get this lead, because he has certainly more pace. But obviously that is only true for the group he's in. And after everyone pitted and him being outside the top 10 and Control being in the top 4, they all swapped around. Yeah, let's have a quick look at positions gained and lost, obviously because of the pit stops. Robustian and Andy, down. Rest is up. Snake is down 6 after this. And Fellison still after that. Lap 1, not even turn 1 collision. Down to 13 and down by 9 places. As the safety car is peeling into the pit lane. Control is, controlling the pace of the restart now, as he needs to let the safety car pull away from him more than 10 car lengths, and now it has crossed the safety car line, which is also the pit lane entry line. Now full control is given to the Red Bull, who just pulls the trigger, and obviously this is one hell of a long ass straight. And Moksha is already fighting Katja into turn 1 for second place. A lot of warming up from Andy in the back here, as Katja is still defending from Dud Williams, who's now going side by side with Robust and who wants to take all these drivers at the fastest pace he can. And Andy has now also capitalized off of that fighting, is going almost side by side with Moksha into turn 4. Down there was Sinful demoted because Fellison and Guy Repke have overtaken him. They are still fighting. Turn 6. Where is a double apex right hander as Katja gets a 3-second time penalty very, very early on as well. First third of the race just done now at the end of this lap. And the Ferrari still need to find a way, especially Pleasant Snake. Where's his pace? What happened at the end of the first, well, technically sin for him, because he didn't pit. Or did they? Oh, one stop. Yeah, this group is now certainly trying to stay with the ones ahead, as Robustian is now challenging both of the Hungarian drivers ahead. Katja pulls out of the slipstream of the Red Bull ahead. Can he do something into turn number 2? Nope. Pleasant Snake goes by on Dere. Inside line. Turns to the outside for the kick Sauber. More scrambling here. Robustian is into second. Makes quick moves to get by. And Pleasant Snake seems a bit desperate here. Body language of his car suggests that he is in need to risk more, as Fellison just immediately ghosts after being too risky with his move. As Slayer just in front receives a 3-second time penalty, and Fellison as well. Fellison also has received a 3-second time penalty. We just watched that, and that is bad news. Once again, don't be irritated by the notification that there's still a safety car. As you can see on the track map, no yellows for the whole one, and currently no yellow dot on the map that is moving. Robustian is going to retake the lead of this race after pitting under the safety car, on our second out of 3 safety cars, as Andy Andre goes head to head with the Haas of Katja and is now back into a third position, as Andrew is trying to stay with the Moksha train. Guy Repke pulls out of the slipstream of Slayer, as Fellison is already looking to continue his charge through the field. Pleasant Snake is looking at a move down the inside of Dere, but now he's ahead, almost head to head with Fellison into the next turn. And currently Fellison is utilizing that fresh medium very well, but as I said, 3 seconds was sinful. There is no real strategy after this with a second pit stop, basically. There's still a safety car open, or virtual one, for this race. As also Guy Rupke has received a 3-second time penalty. Very nice helicopter shot here. But we're gonna jump to Andy Andre, who's about to take second place away from control to make it the double Romanian leaders for the moment, as there's a lot of scrambling. Oh, and Pleasant Snake has been spun around by contact with maybe Fallison or Guy Rupke. That seemed very close with both of them on the inside of turn 2. Inside turn 1, that turned to the outside for 2 for the Ferrari driver. And this car is cursed. If you are not critical damage, might I add to that. And Fallison into 8th. That is gonna be hugely disappointing, as we have a spin from Maverick. Oh man, Snake is gonna hate this. I mean, he's on the tires that can finish the race. But he needs to find the rhythm, not get frustrated. I know him. I know him very well, and that personally hurts me. But I don't think I can say anything about someone causing a collision there, because I did not see it properly. But what I can clearly see is that Andy Andre is now leading the Mexican Grand Prix at the start of lap 16 into turn number... Oh, Fallison! There was a moment for Fallison, down to 10th. And both of the... And 3 seconds for Snake! Both of the race-winning contenders from the preseason race are down and have a time penalty. As Andrew heavily defends from Moksha, who's now under risk from Deary. And dear me, can I say it? Guy Rupke is through as well. 3 positions lost, and now there's Vincenzo going at it. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. This is like a time trial race with everyone being closely followed by each other's DS. Now there's a lunge to the inside from Moksha again on Guy Rupke, who certainly was not. And now he's not expecting this move by Vincenzo. Oh, and then on the outside! There was Fallison on the outside of that! And that's a virtual... Is that a virtual safety car? That's a virtual safety car, last one! And that's damage to Sinful and Pleasant Snake's car. And what is this? Guys, there's a VSC on the track. Do not race each other. It's yellow flags. Pleasant Snake into the pit lane as well. Damage front wings. So... Fellas, so the old hard tire, and Snake is going on a charge here with the... Did you see these eyes? Oh my god. 15th and last in this race. Cannot believe what I'm seeing. I honestly don't know. Antilla, hey. Good to see you. Oh my god. And VSC is away, and this has been our last safety car for the time being. And now there's a charge for Pleasant Snake to go through the field. But he has 18 seconds between P12 and P11. I don't think that is gonna be possible. Now we can see that Robastian is trying to get Andy back into turn 1. Moves to the inside. And completes that lap. P1. As Control and Katja is still with them. But as you can see, only driver not to stop yet is Control, and he's gonna have a hard time. Because he needs to claw this back on pure race passes. Fellas in pits again. Another front wing damage. Oh my god, this is the worst day in Fellason's life. Let's go back to this battle. And maybe it wasn't repaired. No idea. Oh my god. The two strongest teams are not scoring, based on what I knew of these drivers. I didn't know that Sebastian was so fast. Well, okay, technically Mercedes and Ferrari were the strongest in my book. And Andy has from the front last week to the back this week, oh my god, yeah. 14th and 15th respectively. 0 points. Because there's not gonna be any more safety cars. It's set to reduced. We had 2 full ones and 1 VSC. Pleasant Snake opted to pit. And he's gonna have to pull back like 20 seconds on P12 alone. And he has a 3-second time penalty. Wow. Hi Quincy. Welcome. Wow. Top 4 is still within meters of each other. Katja is not gonna take anything here apart from third when control pits, so that's good. But if Andrew finds more time and brings Derry with him, then it's gonna be hard for him. Slayer is currently slaying as Andy has set the fastest lap of this race as we watch Pleasant Snake go through the S section with the guy in front of him that just pitted to medium tires as well. And you're gonna hate this overtake. He feels like he needs to get this done. Around the outside in the stadium, wheel banging. He does it! Nice move, Snake! And he got the ass from the car in front. He has the ass from the car in front. And it certainly doesn't look like Sinful is... he's using all of his charge. Pleasant Lake isn't certainly. Is there a chance for Sinful to get this place back? No, there's a chance for Snake to get P12. Wow! That was very well executed. And Merrick just lost 2 positions. Yeah, Robertson isn't rushing this at any stage. But Control is losing big time. And still needs to pit. Isn't going to on this lap. I feel like Anchor was got with 3-second time penalty that would promote Moksha into the last points paying position. And Katja now takes third off him. And I think, if anything, at this stage, Control, you should pit after P3 has overtaken you. And I highly suggest also changing that front wing. A lot of people have penalties, so gonna get something out of this. As Vincenzo is at the back of Guy Repke, who is on a very long medium stint. Don't think both of these two can get to the end. That's still 15, yeah, that's roughly 26 and 27 laps to go, so that might be... there might be 2 more pit stops to come in this race, at least for 2 drivers. And yeah, Control 20 lap old hard tires. Everyone who has a penalty is only on 3 so far, which is... okay, and Control is losing huge amount of time. 3.6 seconds and he's pitting now. Obviously that wing damage on the left hand side is not helping his tire wear. And Andrew and Derry were already catching up to him. Medium tire for the Red Bull driver. And the front wing change, and he's currently out of his pit box in the slow lane into the fast lane and is miles ahead of Pleasant Snake. Ah, well, it's gonna get close, I think. He isn't too far off. But kind of needs to pull 3 seconds within a lap to get some sort of DRS assistance. I think Fellison should try to go to the end and then pit for soft, as Pleasant Snake once again cuts the corner. Top 2 still riding with each other. As we watch Red Bull v Ferrari. And Andrew actually was overtaken by Derry. So currently it's a Kick Sauber 2-4. Crazy. 2 names that haven't even raced last season are now in a position for really good points here tonight. As there's a change of that right now. But 5th is still crazy good. Guy Rapke takes Vincenzo just before they hit their breaking points. 4-1 as Slayer and Kovacs are still closely matched with them. But I will assume their tires are going to be dropping soon. And they will pit in the next 2 to 3 laps. Because the soft is no good. Oh, look at this. Slayer was so good in terms of traction out of that corner that he just bumped it, and Fellison decides against it and retires from the race. Ouch. Huge bummer. Yeah, Slayer's thinking about it. Does that change? Oh, what is happening here? What is happening here? Vincenzo tried to go for the pit lane entry and Kovacs completely misunderstood Slayer going slowly. What just happened here? It was that guy Rapke. No, it looks like Kovacs. Now he's being blocked by the air of his teammate. What the fuck just happened? And there was the pit stop I was talking about. Vincenzo needed to pit extra, but I don't know who just completely... Someone just fell asleep on the wheel, I think. Holy smokes. And that's certainly damage for Slayer, who needs to pit again and do a whole lap with the red front wing, and that's gonna help Pleasant Snake, who just came ahead. Who just got in front of his teammate because Vincenzo got out behind him. But as we know, time penalty for Pleasant Snake currently means he's even only in 12th. But this got a whole lot more interesting in terms of the points position. Just now, wing damage, Kovacs pits. Slayer's gonna pit, wing damage. Let's see what tires these guys are opting for. So now that's Pleasant into 10th. No, into 9th. With his teammate behind. Kovacs got a new medium. So there's a set available to him. As does Slayer. Okay. Huge misunderstanding there as Vincenzo passes. Oh no, Snake has spun it! No, it's getting worse! Why? What are you doing? Oh my word, this is so painful to watch. This is so painful to watch. It's a 7-race season. Whatever your car is today, don't run that for SSIL tomorrow, please. Holy shit. I just hope they don't had a collision. I just don't hope Vincenzo and Snake came together. Guy Repkipits. That's also front ring damage. There would have even been more points. Now he has 0. Control is just... He just completely butchered it. Softs? With 10 laps to go. My mate, you are gonna feel a totally different way of experience. You're gonna experience a different way of Mexico today. No, sorry, you're gonna experience Mexico in a very special way. Yeah, honestly, we didn't see much of the top 2 so far. But I think that's gonna change. Katja is on tires from lap 1 because of his collision at the start. And as you can see, Robustian is just cruising here. No ES usage apart from medium. And the DRS on the straight is comfortable with Andy's pace right now. And Derry has dropped it too. Andrew is outside the 1 second window. Skyrapke is taking Sinful in a rapid way. And Pleasant Snake is once again behind the reserve fast driver for tonight. This is just so horrible. Oh my word. The only driver... the only driver inside the points. Slayer fastest lap. And Derry 3-second time penalty. Oh, okay. Not good, but it doesn't change anything right now. Almost a full second, full pit stop behind Moksha, who's now under pressure from Control. Who is trying to get P6 here, which is his best, or the best he can hope for at this stage. Because the staying out at the safety car did not work for him. And Moksha is running these tires just 1 lap less than Katja. And with that front wing the whole time, that's quite crazy. So I think Vincenzo will take that 7th place off him very soon. Let's look to Snake. DS is acquired from the car in front. I just really wish to speak to him after this, because this was just I don't know what happened, honestly. Another fastest lap from Slayer, back to back. That's good. Snake to the inside on Sinful. It's actually for the point, for the final point. Oh, well, it could be 4 more because Skyrap has a 6-second time penalty. And his soft will degrade at a rapid pace. He will open up that gap to Snake soon, but will also lose it very fast. So, yeah. Also, Kovaska is in this fight. Yeah, I think Robusta is just gonna leave it till the start of lap 36 and then trying to get away with it. Because he's just 30% ES. Well, 20 at the moment. Sinful being overtaken by Kovatska there. As I assume that there's gonna be a move for that. And yeah, Vincenzo already caught up to Moksha and just said thank you very much. And Kovatska is taking that 10th place off. The 10th place of Snake. Yeah, battles have died out through extra pit stops, especially that collision that forced Slayer into another pit stop, forced Kovatska into another pit stop. And Shenzo pitted just in front of them and then something went wrong. Also Guy Rapkin needed to pit again. Did not work out the way they all hoped, I assume. Let's go to the top 2 for now. Andy leading this race still. Did take the lead after some laps when the second safety car pulled into the pit lane and they swapped to hard tires at the end of lap 9. I really hope that Andrew maybe can find some pace. Oh, Guy Repka is left. That's unfortunate. Let's see if I have him. No, okay. Yeah, so Kovatska and Pleasant Snake, they are gonna catch up to him very shortly. Yeah, I just wanted to ask myself, sorry if Andrew has enough pace maybe to crawl into that 3-second time penalty of Gacha. I mean, his tires are younger, but currently it doesn't seem like it, so gonna be tricky. And Snake has lost the DS to Kovatska. Who's just overtaking the AI car. And Snake is gonna follow him through. And that is now officially P10. For the moment, I have to say, for the moment. Slayer is taken 11th. And would be in the fight with Snake. And has half. And there's another 3-second time penalty for Pleasant Snake. Unfortunate. Anyone knows what happened at the start? No. I wanted to ask you that because I was on the camera for Bastian at the start and then just Alpine coming across and then multiple cars with damage and the safety car was out, so no good angle, was blocked by the first 3 cars in front of you guys, so yeah. And Slayer is gonna take yet another position of a Pleasant Snake, who just has the worst race of his lifetime. Certainly for no stabilizers allowed. As we now have entered the last final 5 laps. And the V-Cup driver is certainly charging for that P9. Both of them having 3-second time penalties, which would mean that he would get 2 instead of 1 point, as Maverick has been lapped in this race. And Snake is nowhere to be found. The tires are dying. Got spun around on the straight. I don't know who moved or who didn't. Could be my fault. I would have to check the PVs. Yeah. As I said, the only thing I knew that was from the camera side, from the right hand side into the middle, there was a Genpai spinning, and the rest was not shown to me. I couldn't switch cams to PVs behind that fast, so yeah, you need those PVs then. Yeah, well, nothing is happening, so we just wait for lap 36 for Andy to probably get passed by Sebastian. Obviously he's charging his battery, but Andy is also using none. There's no pressure from any side. And he currently knows that Sebastian is not interested in getting away or pushing him further on. So the DRS will make the most difference. And as you know, there's only one detection zone at the exit of the stadium just before turn 16. The penultimate turn. And that is the activation zone for both DRS zones on the main straight and the following up straight after turn 3, so you're gonna have a rough time, but it's still one more lap from here after this one. Crossing the line, and now for lap 35. And you can see, despite the DRS flap open in the rear wing of the Kicksauber, there's no intention to be seen by a Robustian. And the Mercedes stays ahead. Slayer unfortunately unable to catch Kovacs as of right now, so VCup currently only going with that 1 point, and they're on the same tire age because they pitted after having that collision with no idea what happened there, so I cannot name anyone. And Snake is pitting for the fastest lap, but unfortunately you will not get the attempt, I assume. Or is there enough space? Oh, they're coming onto the main straight now. The Ferrari is exiting the pits. I think that's not enough. And now Robustian is going by on Andy Andre for the lead of this race. And Pleasant Snake is actually ahead, but he's been ghosted by the game because he's a lapped car. And he's obviously interested in getting ahead now. So this is going to be very irritating for Robustian, sorry. And Snake has pulled out of that. And yeah, as you can see, Andy has already lost 8 tenths. And another 3-second time penalty for Slayer, so that's certainly P10. And just in a click, in just a couple of corners, Andy has lost the lead and a chance to retake that first position. And Robustian is gonna take the first race win of the season. Race 1 of 7 is done and in the books. Kicksauber win with the fastest lap of the race as well. Pure domination from Robustian. And Andy is gonna come home in second. And Katja with his tires from lap 1, 35 lap old hard tires into third. Andrew is fourth. Deary fifth. Strong result for Kicksauber. Pleasant Snake lapped. Guy Repke lapped. Maverick lapped all through. No points. Huge disappointment for Ferrari. And the light for Kicksauber. Control 6. Vincenzo 7th, takes good points. Moksha with front wing damage from his restart after pitting on lap 2. Also home in the points. No idea how he managed to do that. Kovetska 9th and 10th for Slayer. Last driver to cross the line is going to be Sinful in 11th. 19 lap old medium tires are not it. 20 laps now. What a crazy race. Crazy start to the season. And not the people I expected to be on the front. Not on the front row. Not on the podium. Well, not in this particularly order anyway. And Moksha has been giving the drive of the day. Let me be the judge of that. Yeah, he lost the position. Makes sense. 6 positions for Vincenzo. 4 for Sinful. Let's go with Derry maybe. Look good from his PV. Yeah, I'm not expecting to have Snake or Fallison, so I'm gonna go Moksha for that. Turn 1 collision. Yeah, as you can see, Robastian takes the win after being on pole and setting the fastest lap of the race at the end there as well. Not being able to be beaten by the Snake after lapping him is obviously helping. And the second, catcher third, Andrew was Romanian 4th, then Derry, Control, Vincenzo, Moksha, Kovaska Slayer, Sinful in 11th, Snake 12th. What a miserable day. 2 seconds. At 6 seconds time penalty, 12th position, no fastest lap attempt. Guy Repke, Maverick, then Fellison, Crancock, and Jumpai, who didn't even make turn 1. And that was certainly a hectic start to the race. Very eventful one as well. We're gonna head into the quick break and then ask some drivers about the race and the start to the season. Be right back, you guys. We are back for some drivers' interviews after tonight's season opener for season 6. And it has been a very intriguing Mexico Grand Prix, one of the 7 races we will have in this season. And yeah, I thought when Critical Damage was leaving for the season, I didn't expect another Romanian to take a pole position by a 10th. But Robastian, you did it, and you won this race on the last lap by just gapping Andy to a gap he could not recover, and take that win and the 25 points plus the fastest lap point after also securing that on the last lap. How do you feel after this one, and is this a bit easy for you?
Hello, guys. Firstly, I didn't expect to have 13.3 in the qualifying laps. My personal best was 13.6, so I was a bit surprised about my pace. And also, I got a really good setup. So the setup was amazing today. And for the race, since we've all pitted for hards in the beginning of the laps, I think it was lap 10 or so. So I had to do a lot of managing with my rear tires. And I stayed in the back of the other Romanian teammate until the last lap, and then it was an easy overtake.
Yeah, that certainly was looking like you were lining this up after you pulled clearly away from the rest of the field, and you were both managing the ERS battery. I think Andy was certainly aware of what was coming your way. Have you done any league racing prior to this? Because I certainly feel like no one would just pull up to this and do a 13.3 on any given day. So what is the experience? Because I've done some commentating on this lead for some time now, and I've seen you here before. So what is your current season goal, and what is your experience in terms of league racing so far?
So I'm also in the League of the Sinful. So I'm part of that league too. I'm also part of the most competitive Romanian league, which is taking part every Saturday night, once in 2 weeks. So I mean, I'm racing since 3 years old in my Fanatec setup. So it's more like a hobby for me, just like Kivid said once. And the expectation, I don't know. I just want to have fun. It doesn't mean if I'm going to win the race by 20 seconds or just 1 second. I'm just here to have fun, to have good battles with other teammates, and let's just enjoy the new league I'm in.
Okay, yeah, and looking forward to next week. We're gonna have Belgium as a one-off race compared to what the current season calendar is looking like. So, what do you expect from this racetrack?
To be fair, I don't know. I think I need to set up a bit my setup because it's a bit old. I need to have some practice with Andrew because Andrew is my teammate in another league. So we both practicing really hard before every race. I think it will be good opportunities to race with the guys, especially with the faster guys, especially on the Camo Straight and in the Sector 3. So I think I need a good setup, and a bit of practice because I've never played F1 since 2 weeks ago, and this Saturday was the first time playing 2 weeks ago. So I was a bit out of hand, but since I was practicing with Andrew, it made me very easy to drive today.
Okay, we are looking forward to what you can produce for the Belgium Grand Prix and see if your setup just works as fine as today. Thank you very much for that interview, and see you next time in Belgium.
Thank you, guys.
Goodbye. Yeah, no
Bye.
stranger to the podium is our second Romanian driver, and is obviously referring to Andy Andre in the Mercedes, one of the guys who stayed in their team for the current season. Andy, that was certainly an improvement to Kota last time out, and obviously with a second place where a pass from Robastian was very likely at the end of that straight on the last lap. Do you feel that was the most you could have done today, or are you just a bit under satisfied in terms of your performance today?
Yes, I'm sure that's all I could have managed today. Once I saw that qualifying lap, even the first attempt was well out of my reach, and I knew a victory was pretty much going to be impossible today. But happily, Robastian gave me the chance to get in the lead for a few laps and just try to set up out and the track out on in clean air and just work a bit on my skill on this track, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the pace. I mean, Robastian aside, I think I was pulling away with by quite a few tenths per lap from everyone else, and yeah, I'm happy with that. It's a good pace, and in the circumstances, a good result.
Yeah, obviously we had two safety cars, and every time there was someone different leading this start, and with that long straight, you always are tempted to make a move and obviously burn some of your AS to get away from maybe a bit of slower guys behind. But you still managed to stay within that group and not lose too much, despite you both having to go through these guys who did not pit. Was it easy in terms of how you got the passing done, or were you a bit scared that something would happen because we had just a huge incident on the first straight alone, not even the first turn? So, how do you feel the racing was today from your side?
Well, I think it was quite easy. I don't know if it was the tire wear difference that made it easier, but because the guys in front who stayed out during the first safety car were hadn't pitted yet. So I don't know if it was that or my pretty low down for setup, but it was quite easy to get the passes done. I didn't even have to use the overtake on I don't think on any occasion. Uh, and still I was able to keep the gap in sectors 2 and 3, and uh, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, looking forward to next week. Obviously, going to be at Belgium. What do you feel is possible there for you today for next week? Because we're done some Belgium races before. Obviously, you and me as well. So, do you need to also go through your setups and see if you can find more improvement, or just gonna go race by race and see what you like and turn up and get the best thing out of the car?
I usually take it race by race. I never practice a track before race week, so I'm not really sure what to expect from Belgium. But it's probably going to be about the same as everywhere. Hopefully, I'll be able to fight for the podium there also.
Okay, looking forward to see what you can produce in Belgium. Have a good one and see
Yeah,
you next week.
yeah. Thank you.
And now, unfortunately, third place is not with us today, but Moksha for Williams was also involved in that starting collision. Moksha, yeah, obviously from that point onwards, you just went to a hard tire that you ran for the rest of the race, but that start was certainly a shock moment for you. How was that collision or the big incident just ahead, or just where you were at that stage for you, and can you describe it a bit for us, because the camera wasn't really showing anything? So yeah.
Yeah, good evening. First of all, the incident was real quick. I was sandwiched between Katja and Allison. Yeah, and then they touched, and then the collision was. I had rear wing damage and also front wing damage. Good that the safety car came because I could change the front wing, which I actually damaged 2 laps after the restart or something like that. So I raced the whole race with a damaged car, but I think P8 is fine for that because I didn't thought I get any points today. Yeah, I needed to stay on the hard, unfortunately. So therefore, I had no race pace the whole stint. I was just surviving, keeping it on track. I had massive oversteering because of the damage, and yeah, I'm happy for the P8 to be honest.
Yeah, certainly. I noticed that there was a lot of damage to your car early on, and then obviously getting past where people were around your pace at that stage, which I felt like was a bit odd. But yeah, you managed to do that. Obviously, also the last VSC we had, rounding out our total safety car amount for today, yeah, didn't help anyone at the back. So yeah, was good for you to staying out and yeah, just managing to get into the finish line in one piece. And obviously, yeah, guys like Vincenzo who did a second pit stop to the mediums that were just a bit far out of your reach. But tell me about what you think your preparation and the overall feel of this track would have maybe meant for you with this chaotic race, because we saw multiple favorites being knocked out today. Fellison DNF, Snake no points. There were certainly in that fight at the preseason race in Austin last time out. So what do you think was possible today if not for that extra damage and the long hard stint after that safety car on Le Bon?
I mean, P1, P2 would not be in. They were too fast for everybody, but I think P3, P4 would be in with my race pace. I think my setup is really fine. I mean, I hadn't much of it in this race because the damage, but and all in all, it was a good setup, and I had the pace. I think for the race even more than for the qualifying. So I think I could have been quite annoying at the front, but yeah, it happened, and it is how it is. So don't know how it actually would have gone, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, obviously in seven in a seven race calendar, every race counts, and obviously when you think you have a bit more pace, it hurts. This usually hurts more. So, what do you expect from Spa next time out? Do you think that's a strong track for you? Can you utilize everything you learned about a fast and flowing track like Mexico today? And do you think there's a top 5 finish maybe possible for you?
Yeah, I mean it's a fun racing track. We raced not that long time ago there. I think the target is the same, like P4, P5, maybe P6. Depends on how many faster drivers are driving this day, and yeah, but I targeting for good points.
Okay, looking forward to see what you can do in Belgium, and see you in 7 days time.
Yeah, see you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Goodbye. And that has been it from today's Mexican Grand Prix at the Autodromos Hermanos Rodriguez. And you have been watching No Stabilizers Allowed for the opening race of Season 6. If you enjoyed this, make sure to come back to this channel in 7 days time and follow my channel to make sure you don't miss it. If you want to check out previous races or maybe the last season, you can do that in full length on the No Stabilizers YouTube account, and that is if you just search up No Stabilizers Allowed on YouTube, you'll find my commentary stand for length, just VOD channel for you to check out if you missed any of the races. And yeah, looking forward to another barnstormer in 7 days time for the Belgium Grand Prix. Obviously, in real life, it would have been, or it will be the Brazilian Grand Prix weekend, but we just had that 3 weeks ago when we had that as a 100% race finale. So we're just gonna skip on that and head for Belgium and then Austria before we have a week's break, and then Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, all in sync with the real life triple header to round out this awesome 2024 season. And then Canada, it's gonna be the last one from no stabilizers allowed in 2024. Can't believe the year's already closing on us. Really fast and really fun. If and when you have fun, especially in racing. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a good rest of your week. See you in 7 days time in Spa for race 2. And check out, as I said, YouTube. No stabilizers allowed. Wishing you the best, and have a good night.